statements. We also expect communication from Madam Speaker, and we do expect business statements by the leader of government business. This is for the period 16th to 26th September 2025.
And we also have urgent matters without notice, and also 7 questions for oral answer understanding order number 80. And we have a look at the questions that will be expected later on.
Yes, indeed, Pauline, and thereafter we expect the House to consider a motion that is expected to be moved by Ms. Chushi Kasanda, who is Chisamba Member of Parliament, titled Thanks the President's Address, that the thanks of this Assembly be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the President's address. And now we take you back to the questions for oral answer understanding order 80 that we expect the House to consider this afternoon. We must make mention that these questions are of ordinary nature.
Yes, Taza, one of the questions is coming from Kalabo Member of Parliament, Mr. Chinga Miyutu, and his question is directed to the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation. And in the first part of the question, he wants to know whether the government is aware of the critical water shortage in the following areas in Kalabo Central Parliamentary Constituency, and these are Nguma and Mitwi. And part B of the question, he wants to know what measures are being put in place to resolve the problem.
We also expect Mr. Emmanuel Banda, who is Muchinga Member of Parliament, to ask a question to the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development. He wants to know how many artisanal mining licenses were issued to youths in Serenji district from January 2021 to July 2025, year by year, and if there were no licenses issued, why?
And question number 3 on the order paper for today is coming from Kanyamba Member of Parliament, Mr. Monty Chinkuli, and he's directed his question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. Part A of the constituency, and part B of the question, if so, when the plans will be implemented, and part C.
And moving on, we do expect question number 4 to be asked by Mr. Mulenga Fube, who is Chilubi Member of Parliament. His question will be directed to the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. Implemented and
question number 5 is coming from Namwala Member of Parliament, Mr. Hebet Mapani, and he's directed this question to the Minister of Energy. Part A of the question, he wants to know when the government will electrify the Muchila Chiefdom in Namwala district, and part B, when the estimated cost of the project is, and part C, what the time frame for the completion of the project is.
Yes, Pauline, and we must make mention that the moment we see Madam Speaker's procession making its way to the chamber, that will signify that business of the House will be commencing. That will be just about at 14:30 hours. And we must make mention that members of Parliament are actually already taking their seats, Pauline, and they seem to be ready for today's sitting. We continue looking at the questions that we expect the House to consider. We have question number 6, which is expected to come from Mr. Simon Banda, who is Petauke Central Member of Parliament. His question will be directed to the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. He wants to know when the construction of the Zambia Correctional Service milling plant in Petauke district will be completed, what the cause of the delay in completing the project is, and at what percentage of completion the project was as of July 2025, and lastly, what the total cost of the project is.
Yes, we have question number 7 coming from Mr. Raphael Mavenga Mlovezi, Member of Parliament, and he's directed this question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. And part A of the question, he wants to know when the government will commence rehabilitation of the following roads which are in a dilapidated state. This is Kazungula Sesheke and Simungoma Luampa. And part B of the question, whether the exercise will commence before the onset of the 2025-2026 rainy season. And part C of the question, if the exercise will not commence before the onset of the rain season, why? So those are the 7 questions that are on the order paper for today, understanding order number 80, amongst the business that the House is expected to consider today. So 14:30 hours business of the House will resume, and the Speaker's procession should be walking in any time for business of the House to resume. Of course, there you are. The doors are open, and the Sergeant at Arms leads the Speaker's procession as they make their way to the House in readiness for the business of the House. Good afternoon.
Madam Speaker.
And sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those who blend. Let us all our people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Green and we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I have 8 announcements to make. The first one is, honorable members, I have received communication to the effect that in the absence of leader of the opposition who is attending to other business, in the Patriotic Front Whip, Mr. Anthony Mumba, Member of Parliament for Kantanshi, has been appointed acting leader of opposition from today, Tuesday 16th to Wednesday 24th September 2025. I thank you. The next announcement, honorable members, I wish to inform the House that in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 176.3, I have made the following change to the composition of the Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Malamamu Funelo, MP, to replace Ms. Maureen Mavonga. I thank you. The next announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of visitors from Nangoma Parliamentary Constituency in Mumbwa District. I hope these are not the Mumbwa people. All the honorable members, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. You may take your seats, you are welcome. Thank you. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from the United Church of Zambia, UCZ, St. Andrew's School in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may take your seats. The next announcement is, honorable members, I wish to inform the House that the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is inviting honorable members to the handover ceremony of ambulances that were procured using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to be officiated by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. The handover ceremony will take place on Wednesday, 17th September 2025 at the Lusaka The handover ceremony will take place on Wednesday, 17th September 2025 at the Lusaka Agriculture Showgrounds in the main arena at 10 hours. You are kindly urged to be seated by 0930 hours. I thank you. Honorable members, the next announcement, as you may recall, before the House adjourned in August 2025, I informed the House that Parliament Radio would be migrating to a new satellite provider. In view of this, I informed the House that all parliamentary radio sites would be off air during the migration process. I am delighted to inform the House that the migration successfully took place and all sites are back on air. Members of the public are therefore encouraged to follow parliamentary radio in towns with the frequency, and in towns without the frequency, listeners can access Parliament Radio through the radio link on Parliament website, www.parliament.gov.zm. my e-Parliament app, and other free online platforms such as onlineradiobox.com and Radio Garden. I thank you. The next announcement, honorable members, I wish to acquaint the House with the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of Ms. Estelle Colonia, Deputy Head of the Division of Parliamentary Cooperation within the Department of European Union and International Affairs in the Parliament of the Republic of Austria. Ms. Colonia is here. Colonia is here on an internship program with both the European Union delegation in Zambia. All the honorable members, with both the European Union delegation in Zambia and the National Assembly. Among the focus area of our internship program are 1. Public participation in the work of the National Assembly, 2. European Union cooperation with the National Assembly of Zambia, and 3. Participation of youth in Parliament's democratic processes. Her internship program will run up to Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. I would like, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, to receive our distinguished guests and wish her all the best in her programs. I thank you. You may take your seat. The last announcement, honorable members, I wish to inform the House that the debate on the motion of thanks will commence today, 16th September 2025, and will continue for a period of 7 days, including on Thursday, 25th September 2025. Accordingly, honorable members from the backbench will have the floor during the first 5 days from today until Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. The front bench will then take the final 2 days, Wednesday 24th and Thursday 25th September 2025, to respond to the issues raised. I urge honorable members to begin contributing to the debate as early as possible, rather than waiting until the last minute, as time may be limited due to other scheduled business of the House. You are therefore encouraged to participate at the earliest opportunity. I thank you. That's the end of announcements. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, in line with Standing Order 56 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024, I wish to address the House. Honorable members, I warmly welcome you all to the House as we commence the first meeting of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly. I trust that you had a restful and productive break, and that you are ready to dedicate yourself to the important legislative business that lies ahead of us. Honorable members, as you are aware, Standing Order 56.1 of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2024, provides for communication from the Speaker at the first sitting of a new meeting or the first sitting following the ceremonial official opening of the Assembly in case of a new session. Before I proceed, allow me on behalf of the House to congratulate and welcome the newly elected Honorable Member of Parliament from Kwela. Honorable Member, you are welcome, and we wish you success in representing your constituents. even as you join your fellow honorable members in contributing to the other parliamentary work of this august house. On a sad note, I would like to put on record our sincere condolences to the first Deputy Speaker, Honorable Malungo H. Sangano, on the loss of her father, Mr. Edward Sangano, who died on Wednesday, 20th August 2025. It is our hope and prayer that the family will continue to find comfort in the Lord God Almighty. Honorable members, allow me now to highlight a few parliamentary engagements that took place while the House was on recess. Internationally, the National Assembly participated in the 60th World Speakers Conference in Geneva, as well as the 54th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Africa Region Conference in Banjul in the Gambia. Locally, presiding officers continued to visit parliamentary constituencies, particularly in the northern, Muchinga and eastern provinces. On this note, I am pleased to inform the House that I had the privilege to commission the Lundazi and Kanchibia parliamentary constituency offices on the 8th and the 28th August 2025, respectively, which were constructed using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. I wish to commend Ms. Brenda Nyirenda, Member of Parliament for Lundazi, and Mr. Sande Chanda, Member of Parliament for Kanchibia, for being shining examples of effective utilization of the CDF in the construction of constituency offices. I am aware that there are a few other offices that are under construction, such as Solwezi East, Isoka, and Sesheke. I wish to urge members in these constituencies to expedite the works so that the offices may be commissioned. This underscores the growing importance of the CDF in our collective efforts to deliver tangible development to our people. I wish to encourage all honorable members to make full use of the increased allocation of the CDF, not only to respond to the pressing needs in your constituencies, but also to construct constituency offices so that Parliament may be taken closer to our people. Further, and to enhance the effective operation of the constituency development, the constituency office, provincial office, all the honorable members. Further, and to enhance the effective operation of constituency offices, provincial constituency offices coordinators under the office of the clerk will be domiciled in provincial centers by October 2025. Honorable members, allow me to now briefly highlight the business expected to be transacted during this meeting. The primary focus of this meeting is the consideration and approval of the 2026 national budget. To this effect, I urge honorable members to familiarize themselves once again with the provisions of the standing orders on sector budget analysis, which we effectively utilized last year for the approval of the 2025 national budget. I believe honorable members will be able to effectively and actively engage in the process. May I also inform the House that in addition to the changes implemented in the process last year, this year, relevant standing orders will be suspended to allow provincial ministers to present policy statements on their respective heads of expenditure to the sector budget committees and also deal with any matters that may arise on the floor of the House in relation to provincial heads of expenditure. Honorable members, before the presentation and consideration of the budget, the House will consider the motion of thanks to the President's address, which was rendered on Friday, 12th September 2025, during the occasion of the ceremonial official opening of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly. Other important business to be transacted will include bills, especially the ones to support the budget, questions for oral and written answer, ministerial statements, private members' motions, committee reports, and reports on international conferences. Honorable members, I, however, wish to express my serious concern regarding some housekeeping issues, especially the persistent lack of quorum during sittings, which has on several occasions delayed or disrupted the discharge of business in the House. In this regard, I wish to implore the whips to take greater responsibilities in ensuring that members are punctual and present in the House at all times. I further urge all honorable members to give precedence to parliamentary business and strictly adhere to our standing orders, especially observing, respecting, and preserving the decorum and etiquette of the House. As we begin this meeting, let us commit ourselves to diligence, integrity, and service to the people of Zambia. I have no doubt in my mind that with constructive debates, mutual respect, and collaboration, our work will translate into meaningful development for our citizens. I wish you all a fruitful meeting guided by the principles of unity, democracy, and national development. I thank you. Does Her Honor the Vice President wish to comment on the communication just rendered?
Yes, Madam.
Honorable members, please, can we have some order? Her Honor the Vice President.
Madam Speaker, may I join you in welcoming all honorable members to the first meeting of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly, and to particularly congratulate and welcome to this august House the newly elected Honorable Member of Parliament from Fuwe Parliamentary Constituency. Honorable Member, I wish you success as you represent your people through this House. Madam Speaker, allow me also to join you in applauding the people of Lundazi and Kanchivia constituencies for constructing their respective parliamentary constituency offices using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Madam, I would like to encourage honorable members that do not have parliamentary constituency offices yet to emulate Lundazi and Kanchivia. Suffice to say that all honorable members must ensure that CDF allocations are used towards projects that benefit the people in the constituencies and bring development to the country at large. Let me now turn to the business of the House. As you rightly indicated, Madam Speaker, this meeting is mainly focused on the consideration and approval of the 2026 national budget, which will be done under the sector budget analysis process. As leader of government business in the House, I would like to reiterate your point, Madam, that honorable members, ministers inclusive, are expected by now to be fully conversant with the sector budget analysis process. It is the only way we will be able to make considerable progress and ensure that we effectively and efficiently approve a national budget that meets our people's needs and expectations. Further, Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to remind honorable members that we are all working towards the development and betterment of the lives of the people of Zambia, regardless of political affiliation. In this regard, I expect that all of us will conduct ourselves in an orderly manner for the efficient transaction of business in the House. In addition, it is my expectation that the opposition will offer objective and beneficial checks and balances on the executive that will complement government's effort in devising suitable solutions for the various national problems that affect our people. In view of the aforesaid, Madam, I would like to urge all honorable members to desist from the tendency of using the House as a campaign platform to gain political mileage. Imbila ya mwishi. Sorry, Madam Speaker, I was saying I did
Order,
not...
honorable members, order. I'm sure I don't want to remind any honorable members of our standing orders by sending anyone out today on the first day. So please, please, you'll miss me outside. May her honor continue.
Madam Speaker, I will repeat the sentence I made addressing the entire House. I would like to urge all honorable members to desist from the tendency of using the House as a campaign platform to gain political mileage. We are all aware that the 2026 general elections are fast approaching, but my earnest appeal to members, Madam, is that we should prioritize people's needs before any individual political aspirations. Let us focus on finding solutions to improve the well-being of our people and the country at large. In the same vein, Madam Speaker, let me assure the members and the nation that the government will use the opportunity of the sitting of the House during this meeting to inform and clarify various government policies and matters of national interest. As always, this will be done through ministerial statements when necessary, and all other parliamentary mechanisms that are at our disposal, including the Vice President's question time. All in all, Madam, the government is ready to proceed with this meeting and look forward to having fruitful deliberations. May God give us wisdom and guide us throughout the meeting. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Does the acting leader of opposition also wish to comment on the communication? The acting leader of opposition.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Indeed, Madam Speaker, allow me to express my sincere gratitude and that of my colleagues in the opposition for the opportunity afforded to us to render a few remarks on your communication to the House this afternoon. From the outset, allow me to join you And I honor the Vice President in welcoming all honorable members to the first meeting of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly. A special welcome goes to Honorable Malama Mufunelo, Member of Parliament from Mfue Parliamentary Constituency, who emerged victorious in recently held by-election. Honorable Member, congratulations. Madam Speaker, I'm glad to confirm that indeed we had both a restful and productive recess, which also gave us an opportunity to inspect various development projects in our respective constituencies, including Constituency Development Fund supported projects. In this vein, Madam Speaker, it is very delightful to receive good reports from Lundazi and Kanchibia constituencies on the construction of new constituency offices that will take Parliament closer to the people in those jurisdictions. Indeed, I can only say CDF is a game changer. In view of the foregoing, Madam Speaker, I'm convinced that even as we come to this meeting, our debates will be more informed by what we have gathered on the ground during our recess from the people we represent. I therefore urge all members of the opposition to use this meeting to provide alternative perspectives on national issues that are ensuring that various opinions are represented through evidence-based arguments. Ours is to hold the executive accountable by genuinely scrutinizing government policies and actions, including the much anticipated 2026 national budget. Madam Speaker, permit me to remind the House that as we begin scrutinizing the 2026 budget, we must all ensure that where necessary, amendments to the budget are proposed in order to improve the quality of the budget and the fiscal responsibility. This will further help us contribute to enhancing transparency, accountability, and public trust in the budget approval process. With that said, Madam Speaker, I would like to encourage our Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning to bring a good budget, one that will reflect what is happening on the ground and will mirror the presidential speech, and we shall support it. Members on your left are committed to ensuring that in 2020, national budget is approved within the time frame. Essentially, we are resolved to contribute to the development of this country through unity in diversity. Madam Speaker, let me call for orderly conduct of all members in the House. I cannot agree with you more, as this is a house of rules. We are cognizant of the fact that we may hold divergent views, but we believe that our goal is a common one: the good of our people. For this reason, I call on all members of Parliament, especially my colleagues in the opposition, to ensure that we adhere to the rules of the House and conduct ourselves in a manner that upholds values, dignity, and the etiquette and decorum of this House at all times. Madam Speaker, I can assure you that I will not support any erring member of the opposition who fails to adhere to our guidelines, especially the standing orders of 2024. Madam Speaker, let me end, and please allow me to conclude by applauding the National Assembly for successfully participating in international conferences. I have no doubt in my mind that the resolutions of these conferences will continue to help us improve public policy and decision making, both at institutional and national levels. With these few remarks, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you.
Thank you very much. Urgent matters without notice. No, sorry. I'm cruising. Business statement, Her Honor the Vice President, sorry.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the House Business Committee met on Tuesday, 9th September 2025 to determine and schedule business of the House for the period 16th to 26th September 2025. Madam Speaker, the House Business Committee resolved to lay before the House business for consideration in the next 2 weeks as set out below. A. Announcements. The Honorable Speaker may make announcements if there will be any. B. Rulings. The Honorable Speaker will render rulings if there will be any. C. Ministerial statements. Honorable Ministers will render ministerial statements on topical issues if there will be any. D. Reports on international conferences. The House will consider reports on international conferences if there will be any. E. Private members' motions. 2 private members' motions will be presented during the period as follows. Mr. Binwell Mpundu, MP, will present a motion on the subject, set up a film fund. Set up a film fund. This will be presented on 17th September 2025. Again, Mr. What? Again,
Order,
Mr. Binwell.
order. Honorable members, Honorable Member for Nkana, Honorable Member for Kaloloshi, please do not debate while seated. You know the rules. We are just reminding each other that we should behave with the dignity that is deserving of this House and respect each other. So, let's do that. Please, Her Honor the Vice President.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Binwell Mpundu, MP, will again present another private member's motion entitled Reverse the Decision to Surrender Toll Facilities to Companies Undertaking PPP Road Projects Until Completion. This will be considered on 24th September 2025. F. Questions. Honorable Ministers will respond to 28 questions for oral and written answers. The questions are contained in Appendix 1 of this statement, which will be circulated to all honorable members. Further, the details of the questions are contained in the notice of questions for Friday, 12th September 2025, which has already been circulated to all honorable members. G. Questions on standby. The questions on standby to replace questions that may not be placed on the order paper on the designated day due to unforeseen circumstances are contained in Appendix 2, which will be circulated to all honorable members. H. Motion of thanks to the President's address. The debate on the motion of thanks to the President's address will commence today, Tuesday, 16th September 2025, and will be concluded on 5th September 2025. Suspension of standing orders. On Thursday, 25th September 2025, I will move a motion to suspend some standing orders as follows. 1. Standing Order 24. This will be to enable the House to sit from 15 hours until business is concluded on Friday, 26th September 2025. 2. Standing Order 87. This will be to enable the House to omit the Vice President's question time from the order paper for Friday, 26th September 2025. 3. Standing Order 168, Part 2, to enable the provincial ministers to appear before parliamentary committees during the sector budget analysis and present policy statements on the estimates of expenditure concerning their provinces. And 4. Standing Order 171.1, to enable the provincial ministers to present to the House for consideration the estimates of expenditure for their respective provinces and deal with any matters that may arise on the floor of the House. J. Presentation of the 2026 national budget. The Minister of Finance and National Planning will present the national budget on Friday, 26 September 2025. Immediately after the budget presentation, business of the House will be suspended to facilitate for the consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure by committees during the sector budget analysis process. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the House Business Committee and in accordance with Standing Order 44 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024, I have the pleasure to present the business for the next 2 weeks to this august House. Madam, I thank you.
Thank you very much. The next will be Urgent Matters Without Notice. The Honorable Member for Ron.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. The urgent matters without notice that I wish to raise are directed to my two elder brothers, Minister of Agriculture and the Honorable Minister for Finance. Madam Speaker, this country has seen the blessings in terms of harvest of maize from the 2024-2025 farming season. And not discussing the presidential speech just now, I wish to draw 1 or 2 lines from his speech, Madam Speaker, with your permission, where His Excellency stated that we are expected to harvest 3.7 million metric tons of maize, and that will actually shift to 4 million metric tons of maize. Madam Speaker, I am a very worried Member of Parliament coming from one constituency, which is no longer predominantly a mining constituency just now, but men and women there have gone into farming. Madam Speaker, there is a lot of maize lying across the breadth and width of this country. And the President on Friday actually hinted that on Thursday there were some showers of rain in some parts of the country. Madam Speaker, I want to be assured by the two honorable ministers, Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Finance, as to whether we are not going to experience the wastage of this maize that we have harvested this farming season, especially that a lot of maize is still lying uncollected in various satellite depots. And also as to when our able Minister of Finance is going to pay the farmers who are already complaining, and they are also trying to prepare and go back to the land so that they can prepare for the 2025-2026 farming season. Madam Speaker, I want an assurance from the Honorable Member of Agriculture, Mr. Mtoro Piri, who is no longer a Minister of Abanevansara, I believe, but this time around we have a lot of maize, and I want him to assure the nation and the farmers that no maize is going to go to waste this year. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Ron, I suggest you put in a question, because I believe those issues will be discussed even in the presidential address, but you can put in an urgent question which the Honorable Minister of Agriculture will be able to address. The next Honorable Member from Pika.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And I rise on a matter and on an urgent matter without notice directed at our Honor the Vice President. Madam Speaker, in Mpika parliamentary constituents, almost all the water bodies have dried up. Oh, no. And people have nowhere to draw water from. Yeah, water is life, Madam Speaker, and when such a situation occurs, there must be an urgent solution to avert the situation. If not, Madam Speaker, our people may die from various waterborne diseases. People are being forced to draw water from bodies where they are sharing with both domestic and wild animals, which poses a very serious health hazard to our people, Madam Speaker. And if the situation is left unchecked, it will be a disaster in a few days to come. I therefore seek your indulgence, Madam Speaker, as I direct this matter at our honor the Vice President, under whose authority DMMU falls. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member from Pika. The question does not qualify to be raised as an urgent matter without notice. So I would suggest that you put in a question, then it will be answered. The Honorable Member for Matero.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity, and I wish to thank God, Madam Speaker, for seeing us back to this last session at Parliament, for seeing you, Madam Speaker, your Deputy Speakers, and the Vice President, and all backbenchers and some ministers, to see us back to this last session. Madam Speaker, I rise on an urgent matter without notice that is very, very serious. Madam Speaker, I'm raising it on the Minister of Home Affairs. I see he's not here, so I'll direct it to the able Vice President, Madam Narumango. Madam Speaker, on Friday, during the presidential speech, within 10 minutes of the presidential speech, one of your members of Parliament, Honorable Jean Chisenga, the MP for Mambilima, the
Order, Honorable Member for Matero. Order. Clearly you know that matter. You can take your seat as I guide. It does not qualify to be raised as an urgent matter without notice. In any event, I'm informed and I'm aware that the police are investigating that matter following a complaint that has been raised. Order, Honorable Member for Mukushi South. Please. So, Honorable Chisenga, as they lodged a complaint with the police, and the police have been here to investigate the matter. So we cannot discuss that matter on the floor of this House, because it will be prejudicing the investigations that the police are making. In any event, it does not qualify to be raised as an urgent matter without notice. So let's make progress. Questions for oral answer under Standing Order 80. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number, why are you looking at me? Question number 1.
The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Before I answer this question, let me also acknowledge the great people of Nangoma who are in this House. Nangoma is very well represented, as you can see. Very strong team. This constituency very soon will be a district. And indeed, yes, even for endorsement. Madam Speaker, Honorable Chinga Muyutu, Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, asked the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, A, whether government is aware of the critical water shortage in the following wards in Kalabo Central constituency. A, Nguma ward, B, Michu ward.
Minister, sorry. There's an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member from Pika, what's the point of order?
Madam Speaker, I rise on a very serious point of order. Madam Speaker, as per our Republican Constitution, the only person mandated to create new districts, provinces, and boundaries is the Republican President. And as this House might be aware, our Republican President has this far not declared Nangoma as a district. is the Honorable Minister in order to usurp the powers of the President and start declaring Nangoma as a new district? Madam Speaker, I seek your serious ruling.
Send him out.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Somebody is trying to usurp my powers there. So, Honorable Member from Pika, the Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation was just expressing a desire that one day Nangoma constituency will become a district. I didn't hear him declaring that Nangoma was a district. Whoa, it's a desire, isn't it? He was just expressing a wish. One day, maybe, who knows, it might be a district. May the Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation proceed.
Madam Speaker, I can see there's a lot of pressure there. No, a lot of pressure, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, English may be a very difficult language. I'll invite the Honorable Member from Pika to come to my office so that I explain to him what I meant. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Chinga Miuti, Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, asked the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation whether government is aware of the critical water shortage in the following wards in Kalabo Central constituency: Nguma Ward, A, B, Mitu Ward. What urgent measures are being taken to resolve the problem? Madam Speaker, in response to the questions asked by Honorable Chinga Miutu, Member of Parliament for Kalabo Central, I wish to inform this House that, yes, government is aware of the critical water shortage resulting from inadequate water points in the two rural wards of Nguma and Mitu. This critical water shortage has been exacerbated by the drying up of existing water points in the two wards. B, Madam Speaker, in Western Province, government has awarded a contract to China Gansu to drill 63 boreholes, and the contractor has since mobilized to site, and so far 30 boreholes in the province have been drilled. Out of the 63 boreholes, Kalabo District is scheduled to receive 5 boreholes, 2 of which will be in Nguma and Miti wards of Kalabo Central. The contractor is scheduled to drill these 2 boreholes by mid-October. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me appreciate the response given by the Honorable Minister for Water. However, Honorable Minister, I would want to find out the specifications or the size of these boreholes which are to be provided. As you might be aware, since you are aware that there is critical shortage of water, this critical shortage of water, Madam Speaker, does not only affect the human beings, but these are 2 wards which are hosting to cattle life. So I would want to know the size of these boreholes, whether they are going to manage to provide water also to the livestock. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Water Development and Sanitation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a 6-inch borehole, standard 60 meters minimum. We intend to do a piped water scheme there. Stand 10,000 liters as well as a solar unit. Depending on the yield, we should be able to extend it to other areas and obviously provide water for the animals. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. It's a constituency-based question, so I'll just allow if the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central, before he comes in, I'll allow the Honorable Member for Chinsali to ask a question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I wanted to find out, when these boreholes in the province are drilled, will it sort out the water challenges that the Honorable MP has talked about? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water, Development and Sanitation.
Madam Speaker, whenever we go to a constituency or to any particular area, we first and foremost do an assessment of the needs. When you look at the constituency itself, I think just a few months back, we repaired 2 pumps there, drawing water from surface water. We are looking at 2 commercial boreholes there, and these are in different areas. So these boreholes, particularly in the 2 wards, yes, indeed, they will lessen the water stress in that area. As to whether they will completely resolve the issues of water there, I think this is a journey we've started. In Kalabo constituency, the need is much more than we are doing, but the people of Kalabo must be assured that this government will do everything possible to ensure that the water stress is reduced. These boreholes are being drilled in the most needy area, as the Honourable Member of Parliament, Chingamiu, to attest. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Minister, these 2 wards, these are the areas which border Narolo and Shangombo on the southwest, and also on the western side is Congo. Madam Speaker, when 10 years ago, nobody could access these 2 areas from December up to July. You wouldn't access it using a vehicle. You would only reach these 2 areas either by foot or ox cart. But as it is now, whether it is December, January, I can access these areas using a vehicle. Showing that, remember I had discussion with you and the directors. Now, the depth of these boreholes, are you assuring us that the depth will not have an effect to the downfall of the water table in the next 2 to 3 years? Because from the look of trend, the water table is continuously going down and down. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Water, Development and Sanitation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for that question. It's quite a technical question. Indeed, most boreholes being drilled now, maybe I should start from historically. A lot of boreholes will be drilled to depths of 30, 40 meters, and you would find adequate water. Nowadays, in some areas, you drill boreholes up to 100, 150 meters. Climate change has had an effect in a lot of these areas. What we normally do is, obviously, depending on the area, like, for example, in Kalabo, once we drill that borehole, we'll be monitoring as we drill that borehole. When we do tests, pumping tests, and then we discover that the yield may not be enough in that area, some of the boreholes, we are declaring them dry boreholes, so that we drill boreholes with better yields. These then are what we normally call commercial boreholes. So in areas where the demand is very high, and it's only one borehole we would be drilling, we make sure that we drill commercial boreholes in those areas. Again, it's not possible to determine the yield before you drill that borehole, before you do the pump test. So boreholes are drilled and obviously determined as to the adequacy as we drill that borehole. Madam Speaker, I thank you. And lastly, Madam Speaker, let me also encourage my honourable member from Pika to also bring in officials from his constituency. This is the way it should be. Bring them so that they see it. Madam Speaker, happy the Nangoma people are here once again.
Mumbwa. Okay, let's make progress. Next question, the Honorable Member for Muchinga.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Question number 2.
Please, let's say we have a lot of business before us, so let's just make progress. The Honorable Acting Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Speaker, before I answer the question, I would like to welcome and congratulate the newly elected Member of Parliament for Muchinga constituents. Malama Mfumero, you are welcome. Mfue, sorry, Madam Speaker.
Order,
For
order,
Mfue.
honorable members. I think honorable member for Lunte, please take your seat. The honorable minister, let me guide. I'm sure it's a mistake. The honorable member, the minister is referring to Mfue, not Muchinga. The honorable member in Muchinga is here. There has never been a by-election there. And is ready to ask the next question. He's actually the one who has asked the question. So there could be some mistake there. So honorable member for Lunte, your point of order has been addressed. In anticipation. May the honorable minister continue.
Yes, Madam Speaker, because the one who has asked the question is coming from Muchinga, but then I was welcoming our honorable member of parliament for Mfue constituents. The question, Madam Speaker, from the member of parliament, Mr. Emmanuel Banda, member of parliament for Muchinga, asked the Minister of Mines the following questions. How many artisanal licenses were issued to the youths in Serenge district between 2021 and 2025, year by year, and B, if there were no licenses, why? The response, Madam Speaker, a total of 61 artisanal mining licenses were granted in Serenge district between 2021 and 2025, of which 6 were issued to individual youths and 55 to the youth cooperatives. And B, follow, Madam Speaker, because these artisanal licenses were given in Serenge district. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, the question says, how many artisanal mining licenses were issued to youths in Serenge district from January 2021 to July 2025, year by year? So I don't know if you can break it into yearly before I allow the honorable members to ask questions.
Madam Speaker, the answer which I have is that they've combined 2021 and 2025. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, so honorable member for Muchinga, you do the mathematics. Supplementary questions, the honorable member for Muchinga.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And also allow me to welcome my neighbor, MP from Mfue, Malama Mfunero. He is my neighbor, so I also want to welcome him. Madam Speaker, I think the Honorable Minister is not answering to my question. Maybe that's the reason why he wanted to remove me from my constituents, so that he can run away from answering the question. Because, Madam Speaker, I stay in Serenge myself. And I have met these youths several times. And they have been asking to say, we have been applying for mining licenses, but we are not getting them. So most of the youths in Serenge who have applied for licenses have not gotten. And the number that he's mentioning, 61, is just too big. I don't think we can fail to trace even 3-5 cooperatives from Serenge. If really, Honorable Minister, that number is from Serenge. Would you be in a position, Madam Speaker, through you, would the Minister be in a position to mention few names of cooperatives other than individuals who have been issued with artisanal mining licenses in Serengeti district. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Acting Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Madam Speaker, these are true figures of the artisanal licenses which has been given to Serengeti district. But if a member of parliament, like he has asked me a question to understand how many and name by name, he is free to come to the Ministry of Mines, and we will give those, cooperatives for the youths and individual youths who have been granted the artisanal licenses. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Presenting a problem. The question has not been sufficiently answered, Honorable Acting Minister. Because when the question was sent to the ministry, it specifically said the information required should be supplied year by year. Now, if the information is not there, I don't know what we are doing. Maybe you have the information. The Honorable Minister, Acting Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, you have the floor.
Madam Speaker, we can come with a statement so that we can clarify on some of the questions the members are asking. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, so now there is an option for a ministerial statement. When can the Honorable Minister come back to the House with a ministerial statement? Because I believe that there are a lot of questions on that matter. When? When can he come? Wednesday? Next week. Wednesday next week, is it okay?
Madam Speaker, next week Wednesday is the right date.
Thank you very much. So the Honorable Minister of Mines and Acting Minister, Mines and Minerals Development will come back to the House to render ministerial statements on the number of artisanal licenses that have been issued, if possible year by year, and to even give names of some of the beneficiaries, be they youths or cooperatives, so that you are clear. Please cover all the areas, all the mining areas. Thank you very much. So we leave it at that. Honorable members, prepare your questions to ask the Honorable Minister when he comes. The Honorable Member for Muchinga having started the process. Thank you very much. So let's make progress. We go to the next question. The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 3.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Kanyama, Honorable Monty Chinkuri, is asking the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development the following 3 questions. A, whether government has any plans to tar township roads in Kanyama parliamentary constituency. B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. And C, if there are no such plans, why? We answer as follows, Madam Speaker. The answer to question A is the government has plans to tar township roads in Kanyama parliamentary constituency. And B, the plans for township roads in Kanyama parliamentary constituency have already commenced. C, as stated above, the government has plans to tar township roads in Kanyama parliamentary constituency. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions, the Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the response. However, the response is good. However, I just want to find out, previously, there was an allocation of 40 kilometers of roads in Lusaka district. So what I want to find out, from that 40 kilometer, stretch of roads to be, constructed in Lusaka, how many kilometers were allocated to Kanyama? I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I thank the Honorable Member for the follow-up question. In terms of the split of kilometers, I would like to think that that's a new question because it's asking for details that I may not have at the moment. However, with reference to his first question, the government, through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, is currently undertaking rehabilitation work to bituminous standard on selected roads in Lusaka, which includes 1 kilometer of Lady Diana Road, kilometers of Chipolopolo Road in Kanyama Parliamentary Constituency. The contractor carrying out the rehabilitation works is Sirocco Enterprises Limited at a contract sum of 22,146,669 kwacha Fortengwe for Lady Diana Road and 27,844,204 kwacha 20 Ngwe for Chipolopolo Road. Works on Lady Diana Road commenced in early September 2025, and the contractor will subsequently move to Chipolopolo Road upon completion works on both roads. Both roads are expected to be completed by 31st December this year. The scope of the works also includes construction of pavement layers, installation of culverts, and the concrete side drains. Madam Speaker, with respect to the allocation out of the kilometers he mentioned, I would suggest that he puts in a separate question and we shall dig up the information. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Kamfinso.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to direct a question to the Minister of Infrastructure. Honorable Minister, I'm aware that your ministry normally works on what is called an annual work plan, which will tell you the roads that have to be done and whether these will be funded in which financial year. I'm aware that the Ministry of Local Government also has a road sector plan which is supposed to cover township roads under his ministry. Madam Speaker, the MP for Kanyama has brought a question here regarding township roads. There are so many other members of parliament that have got similar questions. Kamfinsa has got concerns about our roads. Are there plans by either the Ministry of Infrastructure or local government to come and provide details? Maybe we find where we can sit and be told when some of our roads will be done in which annual work plan. Because clearly, Madam Speaker, we seem to have roadworks being done in certain constituencies while the rest of us keep being left out whenever we have opportunities for road infrastructure. So we want to know when our constituencies will be covered. So taking advantage of this question, when is the ministry, I don't know if it's your ministry or local government, going to come and tell us when our works will commence in our respective constituencies? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Madam Speaker, responsibility for township roads lies with my able colleague, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Gift Siaruvalo, who is more than capable of addressing that particular issue. If you have any specific questions about township roads, if you direct it to him, we encourage that you members of parliament interact with us in our offices so that we give you direct answers. And I know that the Honorable Minister is all too willing to entertain whoever has questions on township roads, and sometimes answers can be provided even before the question comes to the floor of this House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. I'm sure the Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development has taken note. The Honorable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Following the response from the Minister, and these roads that he has made mention, which is Chipolopolo Road and Lake Diana, the stretch there is about 2.9 kilometers. Now, considering the vastness of Kanyama and looking at certain places where there are no roads at all, going forward, are we seeing any allocation in the future to cover those remaining roads in Kanyama? I submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is the desire of this new Dawn government to ensure that all roads that require attention are attended to. The constraining factor is purely availability of resources. But as we improve the economy, which we are doing, there will be more and more resources being made available to cover as many roads as possible. We understand the impact of a good road network, either in townships or in country, on the performance of the economy. So with respect to the roads in Kanyama, again, let the Honourable Member engage with the Ministry of Local Government to understand where more work can be done, including, of course, what the equipment purchased under CDF can do. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. We make progress. Next question, the Honorable Member for Chilubi.
Question number 4, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Honorable Member of Parliament for Chiruvi constituency, Honorable Fube, is asking the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development whether the government has any plans to rehabilitate the Matipa Moviri Road in the Chiruvi districts. If so, when the plans will be implemented and what the estimated cost of the project is. In response, Madam Speaker, plans to rehabilitate Matipa Moviri Road in Chiruvi district are there. The Ministry will implement these plans as soon as funding is available. However, in the interim, the district, through the Constituency Development Fund allocation to road maintenance and rehabilitation, is scheduled to carry out spot improvements and grading on the 28-kilometer stretch of Matipa to Moviri Kasuba Kalunga Road at an estimated cost of 1.5 million kwacha. The estimated cost for the road in A will be known once a full condition assessment for the road is done and the bill of quantity are prepared. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions, the Honorable Member for Chiluvi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to know whether the Minister knows that since he has talked about the estimated cost for repairing that road being 1.5 million kwacha, if I got him right, does the Minister know that that particular road up to Kasuba Kalunga has got 7 bridges and 5 of those are poorly damaged? And Madam Speaker, the last time that road had some attention, it is out of those 198 roads that the Minister of Local Government had cut the contracts. And the cost then was about 50 million. So I don't know where the 1.5 would fit in to do the works for a more than 28 kilometers road.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Honorable Member of Parliament, what I said was your local authority is just carrying out improvement works and rehabilitation at a total cost of 1.5 million. Now, the full undertaking of the 28 kilometers will be, the bill of quantities will be read once everything is done. At the moment, we don't know the cost, not until the bill of quantities is fully availed. It's just improvements, not that the 1.5 will do the entire 28 kilometers, no. Just to enable for the road to be a bit more motorable and like the way it is now. So the full cost will be known once the BOQ is ready. Thank you so much.
The Honorable Member for Kamfisa.
Madam Speaker, I am grateful for the opportunity to direct a follow-up question to the Honorable Minister of Local Government. Honorable Minister, before you took over the ministry, we did raise issues to do with the road sector master plan, which was supposed to guide all of us members of Parliament, Madam Speaker, on when our roads will be done. The Honorable Member for Chilubi has directed a question to you, asking when his roads will be worked on, and you've provided some answers. But the question still remains, do you have plans as a ministry to provide details to all of us so that we stop asking questions every other session of Parliament? Madam Speaker, the people of Kamfisa are still waiting for their roads. The people of Chimwemwe are still waiting for their roads. Are we going to be bringing questions here every time, or the ministry will be proactive and call us and provide details when our roads will be done? Because we've been to these offices, Madam Speaker, we still don't know when our roads will be done. My question to the minister, do you have plans to come and give us a more detailed indication of all the constituencies and when these roads will be done? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Rural Development, Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much, and the Honorable Member of Parliament for Kamfisa, thank you so much for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, the government wants to undertake road works throughout the country. We are only going to come up with a master plan once a resource envelope is available. We don't want to commit another date. We have a lot in our books to clear in terms of the debt sustainability. We already have enough. So what we want is to acquire enough resources so that even when we come to Parliament, giving you a road master plan, we will not say the resource envelope is available. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chilubi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the road in question is the stretch on the mainland where maize is being produced. And I think when we find that if Chilubi has produced maize, that is a contributing area. Given that background, Madam Speaker, with the coming of the lands, and that area and Chilubi itself falls under the agroecological zone number 3, where rainfall is on the average of 1,000 meters per year. And most of the time it's very much damaged. You have mentioned the 1.5. I would like to believe that is coming from the 3.2, which is in the road sector and the CDF. When are we going to see these works start? Because just to compete with the rains, when are we likely to see the works starting with that the patching of 1.5 million?
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much, Member of Parliament for Chilubi. Just my appeal to honorable members of Parliament. You have a bigger say on this fund called CDF. As members of Parliament, we have a bigger say. So it's unfortunate that the MP, I'm not trying to demean him, but very, very unfortunate that resources are going to Chilobi. In terms of usage, it should be the minister to respond. Because these are the questions the Honorable Member of Parliament should have taken the Council Secretary in Chilobi to task to do these jobs. These council secretaries and town clerks, they are not above you. Make sure that you take them to task to do the right thing. Now, to give you the response, to give you the response from your local authority is that before month end of this very month, works would have been done. They are aware of the ecological zone of your Chirobi. So it will be done within this month. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sure the Honorable Member for Chinsali is not complaining. His roads, I saw them, they are being done. You can confirm.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I still have roads that have to be done, so I still have roads that have to be done, but we will await the government to work on them. I wanted to make a comment on what the Minister said, that MPs have a bigger say on CDF. Madam Speaker, it is not true. An MP is just a member of the Constituency Development Committee against a total number of about 9 to 13 members. And he only has one vote in that committee. And that committee is chaired by a different person who also has a vice. No, that is true. That is true. So, an MP cannot bulldoze the town clerk. An MP cannot bulldoze the town clerk that do this road. An MP can never do that. A town clerk can easily tell the MP that, sir or madam, but you are the one who is a member of the CDF committee. Now, if the other members say that, no, we cannot do this road, we are going to do this road. Because with this CDF now, you find that you have little money, you have so many responsibilities to do. So there is rationing of resources. You find that the money that you have can only manage to do maybe one road against maybe 9 that are needed. So I just wanted to understand what the minister meant when he said an MP has a bigger say, because an MP is not the sole person to make a decision on that CDF committee. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Rural Development, Local Government and Rural Development, can you make a clarification on that?
Madam Speaker, every day I receive phone calls from these honorable members of Parliament pushing for CDF release. Not from any other CDF committee member, no, but from members of Parliament. So if they don't have a say, who do they push for the release of CDF? So I understand, yes, you say representation. That's a bigger say. For you to be representative of the people, that's a bigger say. So that's what I meant. And for Chilobi, this question was not generated by the ministry. We had to engage the local authority in Chilobi. So meaning the road work is part of what was approved by the Constituency Development Fund Committee. So this response is basically coming from Chilobi, meaning the council is a secretariat that is presenting this on behalf of the need of the people of Chilobi. So a representative has a bigger say than anybody else because they push for this money. I submit.
Thank you very much. I'm just wondering if the Honorable Member of Parliament does not have power to bulldoze, who else? Being a representative of the people, please make sure that you make an impact. The Honorable Member for Shuangandu has indicated we don't want to spend too much time on this. That will be the last question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this road, the Honorable Member for Chilubi is asking for Matipa Mubili. is not any less than 50 kilometers, Madam Speaker. And as much as the Honorable Minister is bringing in the aspect of CDF, he knows that to do this stretch, you may need not even the whole entire 1 year CDF. To do a meaningful gravel road on this stretch can manage to cover that cost. There was a proposal by your predecessor, Honorable Minister, who had spoken about the component of fuel, which was going to be an additional funding for the rehabilitation of these local roads. Where are we? Because to be quite honest with you, I would like to send a member here who can stand and say you can apply CDF to do a gravel road of even 10 kilometers using CDF. Madam Speaker, I would like the Honorable Minister to just clarify so that we are on the same page. I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Honorable Member of Parliament for Shiwangandu, thank you so much. Madam Speaker, I never said CDF will work the entire kilometers of this said road. All I said was we're waiting for resource envelope. For the time being, the council has decided to use part of the road component, which is 1.5 million kwacha, to make the road motorable. Once the resource envelope is available, yes, might be more than the CDF amount in totality, but that's when it will be done. There is a will from the government to do the said road, but at the moment we don't have those resources. There is money that the government, through the direct from the president, 3.2 million kwacha. The council sees fit to use 1.5, not the entire 3.2 million kwacha. So that is the decision of the council. Once resources are available, we are going towards the budgeting period. Definitely that will be considered. We understand how important that road is, but it can only be done when resources are available. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's make progress. The next question, Honorable Member for Namwala.
Madam Speaker, question number 4.
Honorable Member for Namwala, are you with
Question
us?
number 5, Madam Speaker.
Okay, thank you. The Honorable Acting Minister of Energy.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Mapani, Member of Parliament for Namwala Parliamentary Constituency, is asking the Minister of Energy, A, when government will electrify the Muchira Chiefdom in Namwala District, B, what the estimated cost of the project is, and C, what the time frame for the completion of the project is. Madam Speaker, according to the 2008 Rural Electrification Master Plan, Muchira Chiefdom in Namwala District was scheduled to be electrified in 2015, but was not done due to the unavailability of funds. In 2025, feasibility studies have been undertaken by the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, and the scope of works have been established. The scope includes supplying electricity to the electrification of Movola Combined School, Movola Rural Health Center, Movola Market, Shabagwa Primary School, Muchira Primary and Secondary School, Muchira Rural Health Center, Muchira Market, Muchira Local Court, Chief's Palace, Shimashikwe Primary School, Itapa Primary and Secondary School, Itapa Rural Health Center, and Itapa Market. The subsequent electrification of the above-mentioned areas will commence in 2026, subject to the availability of funds. Madam Speaker, the cost estimate to electrify Muchira Chiefdom and surrounding areas in Namwala Parliamentary Constituency is 43,993,000 741 kwacha 20 ngwe. C, this project construction duration is estimated at 10 months. Madam Speaker, the New Dawn government is committed to ensuring that universal access to electricity is achieved by 2030. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Namwala, you are satisfied?
Yes, Madam Speaker, it's clear. Thank you.
Okay, since the owner of the question is satisfied, let's make progress. The next question, the Honorable Member for Petauke Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Question number 6.
The Honorable Acting Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The Honorable Simon Banda, Member of Parliament for Petauke Central Constituency, as the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, the following questions. A, when the construction of the Zambia Correctional Service milling plant in Petauke will be completed? B, what the cause of the delay in completing the project is? C, at what percentage of completion the project was as of July 2025? And finally, D, what the total cost of the project is? Madam Speaker, in responding to the questions asked by the Honourable Member of Parliament, I wish to inform the House as follows. A, the House may wish to note that the contract for the construction of the Zambia Correctional Service milling plant in Petauke District was signed in 2017 at a total cost of $19,598,533.78 million. An advance payment of 100 million kwacha was made in 2021, and construction works commenced in the same year. However, the project stalled in 2022 due to delays in settlement of subsequent payment certificates. In December 2023 and May 2025, another 46.5 million kwacha and 85 million kwacha were respectively paid towards the outstanding certificates, leading to the resumption of works in July the year 2025. The project is expected to be completed within 12 to 18 months from the date of resumption, and that is July. B, the completion of the project has been delayed owing to delayed settlement of the outstanding certificates, as has been mentioned. And then under C, as of July 2025, the works were at 40% completion. And finally, D, the total cost of the project is, as I said, 19.6 million, to the nearest, of course, million United States dollars. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honourable Member for Petauke Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Honourable Minister, now since the contractor is on site, what assurance can you give to the people of Petauke that now works will continue up to its finality? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Acting Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Assurance number one is that the contractor is seriously mobilized and on site and is working. That's assurance number one. Number two, from the trend that has been shown, where after the project was stalled, the ministry has been able to pay 46.5 million kwacha and 85.85 million kwacha, is indicative that this government is seriously considering that this contractor complete the works, because it just depends on the cash flow, and the cash flow is there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kamfinsa.
Acting Minister of Home Affairs, your statement confirms that only 40% of the work has been done, and from your explanation, we've had challenges with getting funding made available for this project. What assurance are you giving to the Member of Parliament in relation to the availability of the funds to move from 40% to 100%? Is there a budget line that you can confirm is available either in the 2025 budget, or it's something that you intend to include in the 2026 national budget? Madam Speaker, the issue I'm raising is the availability of the funds to complete the project. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Acting Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
As I said, the government's commitment is shown in the disbursement of the 46 and 80 million kwacha that we recently were able to disburse to the project in terms of certificates that were given, and come the completion of, or the use of the 45 and 80 million kwacha, the Treasury, our Treasury, has assured the project that the funds will be made available as and when the certificates are presented. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Petauke Central, is your question. Do you have any other question?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to find out from Honorable Minister, when a contractual terms have been breached to the side of the contractor, maybe the contractor was going to be changed. Now, this time around, since it is the government which has breached the contractual terms, that is in terms of payments, what remedial steps can the contractor take for the relief? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Acting Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. At times when we don't have proper follow-up questions, please do not stand up and ask such questions. What I would like to say is that the contract is there, so the terms are in the contract, and contract to use those contractual terms vis-a-vis the government. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's make progress. Next question, the Honorable Member for Mulobezi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving the good people of Mulobezi to ask question number 7.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honorable Member for Mulobezi, who is asking the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development the following 3 questions. Number A, when government will commence rehabilitation of the following roads that are in a dilapidated state? 1, Kazungura Sisheke, and 2, Simungoma Luampa. B, whether the exercise will commence before the onset of the 2025-26 rain season. And C, if the exercise will not commence before the onset of the rains. Why? We answer as follows. Government will commence rehabilitation of the roads as follows. The rehabilitation of Kazungura Sisheke Katimamulilo Road will only commence once the detailed road designs are prepared and the contractor procured. 2, the rehabilitation of the Simungoma Road, Luampa Road, will only commence once the detailed road designs are prepared and the contractor procured. B, the rehabilitation works are not expected to commence before the onset of the 2025-26 rain season. Studies to inform the detailed road designs will only start after October 2025 and are expected to take 6 months. C, as stated in A and B above, the works will only commence once the studies are completed, detailed designs prepared, and the contractor procured. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Mulowezi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, this road has been there for the past 5 years. Now, when are these
Sorry,
designs?
Honorable Member for Mulowezi, there is an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member for Shwangandu, what's the point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was meant to raise this point of order contemporaneously as required, but then I think you didn't see my indication. Madam Speaker, when we are dealing with this segment of questions for oral answers, members who pose questions, who place their questions on the order paper, are at liberty to make follow-up questions. And when you, as Madam Speaker, admit a question, it means the question from the Honorable Member is valid. Madam Speaker, the Honorable MP for Petauke posed the question to the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, and the acting minister was responding to his questions. And the concerns he was raising, Madam Speaker, was that this contract, which is supposed to actually be in abeyance, because it should have completed in 2022, the contractor demobilized and went back to site. When the Honorable Member was trying to find out what the status of the contract is and what protections the contractor has, in response, the Honorable Acting Minister opted to demean and discredit his question by saying if you had no meaning of questions, and was in order, Madam Speaker, to treat a question, which a follow-up question posed by an honorable member, in such a fashion. We need to set standards on both sides of the House, Madam Speaker. I think you're serious, Lori.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Shwangandu. From what I observed was that the Honorable Minister, when he was responding, it was on a lighter note, and I noticed that some members, even on my left, were laughing that it was on a lighter note, not meant to demean the Honorable Member for Petauke Central. Honorable Member for Petauke Central, if you felt demeaned, please, sincere apologies, but it was on a lighter note. So we proceed. The Honorable Member for Mulowezi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, this road you have been talking about is since 2021, and the promises have been given that it will be done. Now, when are we going to have this road started? Or what remedial measures are you going to put in place? We're waiting for the design, because the people are suffering. The road is in a terrible situation. We can't keep on waiting for an unknown. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Development, Urban Development.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me, Madam Speaker, state from the outset that the government, in fact the whole of the government, is fully aware of the state of this road, particularly from Kazungula to Sisheke. Government has been doing everything in its power to ensure that resources are sourced to undertake this work. Here are some of the measures that government has undertaken. The government received a grant from the World Bank under the Transport Corridors for Economic Resilience TRESA project, which included a component for the studies for the detailed design of the Livingstone-Sisheke Kazungula Road. This is the same TRESA concept under the World Bank that allocated resources for roads such as Serenje to Mpika. Okay. Unfortunately, in the allocation of resources, that particular road, Serenje to Mpika, was allocated resources for work to begin the rehabilitation. But with respect to roads like the Sisheke Kazungula Road, as well as Lusaka to Luangwa Bridge Road, they only allocated resources to undertake feasibility studies. There is very little that we can do to change the World Bank. So that is why in the answer we specified that these studies under the World Bank, which have to follow their time frame, will commence in October 2025. Further, it is envisaged that the bankable detailed design arising from these studies, these are the World Bank studies, would then be used to solicit funding from cooperating partners for the rehabilitation works. The contract for these studies are expected to be signed by October, as I mentioned, with a duration of 6 months. However, government has not sat idle because there is this resource from the World Bank to undertake these studies. We have looked at other options, and that is why government received an unsolicited proposal from Bucks Haulage Limited, BHL, to undertake the rehabilitation works of the Livingstone to Katimamulilo Road, including the Katimamulilo border post, under the public-private partnership PPP model. The negotiations on this PPP are currently ongoing and expected to be concluded within the month of October 2026. We have gone further, Madam Speaker, because of the importance of this road. Normally, when a PPP is concluded, we ask the potential concessionaire to reach what we call financial closure. That means complete discussions with potential funders and sponsors, and we waited. When that stage is reached, then work commences on that particular PPP. But because of what government feels about this particular road, we have gone further to call for the potential funders for this particular concessionaire to meet with government, to encourage them to conclude their discussions and enable the concessionaire to reach financial closure. These discussions took place in my office under my chairmanship as late as yesterday in the afternoon with 2 potential funders, including insurance companies that they want to insure those works. This is how serious we take this particular state of the Sisheke Kazungula Road. The particular concession under BHL, over which we held discussions yesterday, is from just before Livingstone to provide a bypass road around Livingstone to Kazungula, then from Kazungula to Mwandi, Mwandi Sisheke, and onward to Katimamulilo, with the development of a one-stop border Katimamulilo. We have engaged with our counterparts in the Namibian government so that we cooperate in the development of that border post as a one-stop border post. Now, Madam Speaker, the reason why we are engaging into these parallel processes is that whichever we are able to complete first, that's what we shall undertake. If these discussions with the concessionaire can be completed, they get financial closure, then even the studies under the World Bank, we shall put them by the wayside. Then we shall move with that. But we have continued with the discussions with the World Bank that in the event that for some reason we are unable to reach conclusion with the concessionaire, this also provides an opportunity for World Bank money to be used at a later stage on this particular road. Madam Speaker, you may wish to know, Madam, that the total length of the Livingstone to Sisheke Road is 195. If you extend it into Katimamulilo, we're talking about 205 kilometers. In terms of government using their own resources, we are talking about a colossal sum of money to the extent of maybe $120 million. The Treasury at the moment would be unable to fund that sort of money. Now, going back to PPP concessions, the reason why we allowed an unsolicited bid is that this is the quickest way to undertake a complete works. Because a solicited bid, Madam Speaker, just for explanation, entails that government undertakes a full feasibility study before inviting bidders to bid. Our experience is that when we have unsolicited bid, it is the responsibility of the concessionaire to undertake pre-feasibility, and without exception, we have been able to complete works very, very fast. So that is why we entertained the unsolicited bid from BHL. Madam Speaker, the commencement of rehabilitation of works on the Simungoma via Mlobezi to Luampa Road in Western Province of Zambia is, of course, subject to the availability of funds from the Treasury if we are to do it as an EPC contract. However, we have continued to engage with various possible concessionaires in view of the fact that the Mutanda Kaoma road via Kasempa is undergoing serious discussions for a PPP. It is our firm belief as government that all the traffic that will come from northwestern mines, from some copper belt mines, and indeed from Kolwezi mines, if they pitch up in Kaoma, then it makes the Kaoma Luampa Schili Mlobezi, Schili Machile Simungoma much more attractive for PPP. I would like to assure the Honorable Member from Mlobezi that he should bear with us. We feel the pain of the people of Sisheke as government, but we are doing everything possible to ensure that this road will be rehabilitated to permanent status. One of the problems we have on this particular road is the area around the Mupani areas. Even when the road was constructed under UNIP days, as Nakatindi Road was left in a very low state, which means then that when that place floods, the road is undermined. And that's why we have frequent failures of that particular road. Our intention is when we do this rehabilitation, either under a P, is we lift the load in that particular section to ensure that the rehabilitation will be to international standards and it will be a permanent rehabilitation. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Sesheke. There's an indication for a point of order. Honorable Member, the point of order.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Madam, the standing order number, is it 91? 71? Is a requirement for submission of consistent data on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, the road in question is critical for the Zambian people. And the Honorable Minister, in submitting to this House, indicates the Treasury is unable to fund $120 million. Madam Speaker, when the President sat on the throne there, he told us the economy has been growing average 5.2%. Madam Speaker, he told us over 90% debt restructuring. And we have seen how the expansion of the national budget has been. We approved that budget here in the House. If the Minister of Finance was there and the minister seated next to him is claiming that he is unable to fund a mere $120 million, which is just about 3 billion kwacha, Madam Speaker, out of a budget of over 230 billion, in an economy that has been growing on average 5.2%. Is the Minister of Infrastructure in order to demean the National Treasury in that fashion? To say they are unable to fund such an important road with such a meager amount in a good economy, Madam Speaker? Is he in order to contradict the pronouncements of the President which he tendered just last Friday? I seek your serious ruling, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. What I heard the Honorable Minister of Infrastructure say was that there are two options. There was one option funded by IMF and the other option by PPP. And they are exploring those two. Whichever works out is the one that will be implemented. But for now, there is not enough money. But I think he was promising that they've not given up, they are pushing. So I don't think he was contradicting the President or anyone. He was just giving a factual position from his standing as the Minister responsible for infrastructure. So he was not out of order. Let's make progress. Honorable Member for Sesheke.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And thank you so much, Minister, for the responses given. However, Honorable Minister, for 4 years now, these responses have been very consistent, but nothing is obtaining on the ground. You may wish to know that I'm just arriving from Sesheke now, today. And the status of that road leaves much to be desired. More so that is an economic road. For a while, Honorable Minister, Madam Speaker, we've seen roads that are not of economical value being commissioned for construction. Now, my question is very precise and straightforward. What amounts to priority economical roads if Sesheke Kazungula Road, with the high volume of traffic, is not amongst the priority roads? Thank you, Minister.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Madam Speaker, I think it is very unfair on this government to imply that government does not consider this particular road as an economic road. This government not only considers it as an economic road, it also considers it as part of the north to south corridor, specifically the Walvis Bay corridor. And that is why this government has engaged in discussions with the Namibian government, who also understands that not only is it a national road, it is also a regional road, in other words, a SADC road, because it services not just Zambia, not just the people of Sesheke, but the people of SADC. Goods traversing on that road are not only used in Zambia, but they go further in countries like DRC and East Africa and the others. So we do consider it as an economic road. Among the measures that we have looked at, somebody there was making reference to the Minister of Finance. Yes, we have sat down with the Minister of Finance and said, is there a way, even as we are looking at these two options, is there a way in which maybe we can wangle some resources? And he has assured me that he is also equally concerned, and has made reference to a trip that is about to undertake, that we engage further other possible sources of funds for this rehabilitation. The Honourable Member for Sesheke may also wish to know that as a result of the poor condition of this road, we have periodically undertaken some remedial works, and these will be restarted. Unfortunately, the nature of these remedial works are not long-lasting. We had national service on the road a couple of years ago, but the work that they are able to undertake under the resources available from the Treasury are not sufficient to carry out permanent works. Our view as government is that this road must be rehabilitated properly in the manner that I described earlier, including lifting up sections that require to be lifted up. Then we will have a permanent solution, and it will be long-lasting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Mwandi.
Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker. The Minister of Infrastructure, we appreciate the works that have been done by ZNS on the Nakatindi Sesheke Road. And I'm glad to inform you that, I don't know, from a very sad point, that actually those works that have been done by ZNS, Honorable Minister, have made the road even worse. Yeah. The road right now, Honorable Minister, is impassable. I got stuck on that road, Madam Speaker, when I was in the constituency last week for 3 hours. I could not pass. Madam Speaker, We've spoken about this road since 2021, and we understand where government is coming from. I wanted to find out from the Honorable Minister, is there a situation that an international road like that one can be declared a disaster? Because that road literally is a disaster right now. And as you come back, Honorable Minister, from that road, you have to come and get sick. Flu, cough. The situation, Honorable Minister, before the rain season comes is very, very extremely sad. It's very, very bad. Honorable Minister, in what circumstances can you declare that road a disaster so that it can be worked on? I submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Madam Speaker, I can see the opposition are very happy. Sometimes we should limit the number of times we make them happy. I think that is here.
I'm just trying, I'm looking at time, Honorable Member. Yes, but time also we have to be, we have to make sure that we transact business. May the Honorable Minister answer the question so that we follow. When we come back from break, then you'll be given an opportunity to raise your point of order. I've guided Honorable Member for Shwangani. May the Honorable Minister continue.
Yes, Madam Speaker, even though this is an international road, the responsibility for working on the road in our country remains with us. There is no international group of funds that comes to undertake this. We undertake the works on the Zambian side as much as other countries undertake the works on their sides. Let me assure the Honorable Member for Mwandi, the Honorable Member for Sisheke, the Honorable Member from Rovesi, that government and the Kazungula, of course, even though, even Kazungula, let me assure them that these serious considerations being undertaken by government will result in something. But under the circumstances of limited resources, we have to rely on others to enable us to have those. The World Bank, except the World Bank process takes a long time. We talk about 4 years. Yes, that is sometimes how long, even longer, the way the World Bank process takes place. We cannot shorten it. We have discussed, last year I was, in fact early this year.
Order. As the time is 16:40, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a health break.
You are still watching Parliament television, and the House has taken a 20 minutes health break. And just before the break, the Minister of Housing, the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development was making and was answering to a follow-up question by the question posed by Mlobezi Member of Parliament, Mr. Raphael Mavenga, and he wanted to find out whether the government will commence rehabilitation of the following roads which are in a dilapidated state, and these are Kazungula, Sesheke, and also Simungoma, Luamba, and whether the exercise will commence before the onset of the 2025-2026 rainy season. So that is what was on the floor of the House just before the break.
Yes, indeed, Pauline. And we now take a look at some of the business that has started on the time business commenced at about 14:30 hours. And Madam Speaker did make a number of announcements, and we take a look at some of those announcements. One of the announcements, Madam Speaker informed the House that the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is inviting all honourable members to the handover ceremony of ambulances that were procured using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to be officiated by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Madam Speaker stated that the ceremony will take place on Wednesday, 17th September 2025 at the Lusaka Agricultural Showgrounds in the main arena at 10 hours. And she further stated that all members were urged to be seated by 09:30 hours.
In another announcement, the Honorable Madam Speaker did inform the House that she had received communication to the effect that in the absence of the Leader of Opposition, who is attending to other business, the Patriotic Front Whip, Mr. Anthony Mumba, Member of Parliament for Kantanshi, has been appointed Acting Leader of Opposition from today, Tuesday 16th, to Wednesday 24th September 2025.
And in the other announcement, Madam Speaker reminded the House that before the House adjourned in August 2025, she informed the House that Parliament Radio would be migrating to a new satellite provider. In view of that, she informed the House that all Parliament Radio sites would be off air during the migration process. She informed the House that she was delighted that the migration was successfully